Have you ever heard of a sport where the athletes are microscopic and the stakes are literally life itself? Welcome to Sperm Racing. This is Substream and I'm gonna get quite deep into this video, but not that deep, not enough to get sticky. Sorry. I really wanted to get out on the streets of beautiful Istanbul. It's my last day here before heading back to Thailand. But then I remembered the topic of this video and I didn't really want locals thinking I'm an absolute nutcase. No more than usual. Today's video is all about sperm racing. So guys, hands at the ready, kind of, and let's go. Well, actually, keep that hand busy, put it on your mouse or your trackpad, go and click like and subscribe and leave us a comment if you enjoy this video. For now, let the races begin in 3, 2, 1, go. Yes, sperm racing is a recent and highly, let's call it unconventional event, right? And it's captured a lot of the internet's attention. First came to my attention when I was doom scrolling Instagram Reels, and I was like, what the hell is this? Well, it's funny, right? It preys on people who enjoy gambling on nonsensical events, on humor, science, controversy. All of these things are what makes sperm racing special. Now, the first event was held in Los Angeles on April 25th of this year. This microscopic competition is all about raising awareness for male fertility. So the organizers say. That's kind of the point behind it. But the way that they executed the event, how authentic it was, has sparked a lot of debate. It wasn't normal. It was, I mean, if you see the video, it almost looks like a night out at the darts, which, you know, kind of looks like a lot of fun. But I want to tell you about the origins of this event from my research, the mechanics of how they actually race two people's sperm, and I would guess the cultural or internet cultural impact that this has had in this video. So if this sounds interesting to you, keep watching, guys. I'm going to go out on the balcony because it's a lovely, beautiful day. I can't believe the camera is still working. Guys, I've just had an absolute nightmare. Don't cut this out of the video. Oh my gosh. Right. Let me show you what just happened when I transitioned from these scenes. Okay, so I'm in my room, right, recording here in the hotel room. I've gone outside to this lovely little balcony and I thought, oh, I'm going to put the camera right here. Okay, because there's this wonderful view of Istanbul. What I didn't see is that right here, let's get over here, is a gutter. And I dropped my entire camera in the gutter, underwater. I had to put my arm in there and get it out. Based on this, I think my sperm won't be winning any races because I clearly have not got the brains. Oh my gosh. My life flashed before my eyes. I've got lovely kit. And I just thought, oh no, I've just cost myself an absolute fortune. But a towel and a hairdryer and I've managed to fix it. Anyway, let's get back to sperm racing. If I can find a suitable place to put my camera without risking its existence. Okay, I think I'm safe for now. So let me talk about the origins of sperm racing. Well, it all starts with a 17-year-old called Eric Zhu, and he, alongside some of his friends, such as Nick Small, who was just 16, and Shane Fan, who was 22, went on to raise a very, very impressive $1.5 million to stage their initial event. And I will tell you, it was a big success. There are more planned. Now, originally it was planned for the Hollywood Palladium, but it was later moved to the LA Center due to venue issues, and I suspect increased demand. Now, as I've said, the purpose was to highlight male fertility problems and the declining male fertility issue. Now, we've talked about this in plenty of videos. You can go back and find it. Actually, I'll put a link up in the corner. We've talked about, you know, how Korea and Japan and various other countries have a declining birth rate and how that's such a big issue. What they are saying is that over the last 50 years, fertility rates have declined by half. Why is that? I'm not a scientist, I can only speculate, but I suspect having a device with microwaves and such, or whatever kind of waves it has, in your pocket doesn't help. All the junk food we eat doesn't help. Our love of devices and Wi-Fi and everything probably doesn't help. But who really knows? Now, Zhu, I got a great quote here. He said he predicted, or he was kind of fearing, a dystopian future where no one will be able to make babies. So this is a mixture of a public spectacle and a public health statement. Now, if you've seen the movie Children of Men, there's a kind of timeline where this substreamers, as I was recording that last clip there, the camera completely freaked out. I've spent a day with it drying out, with a mixture of tissues, rice, hairdryer treatment, whatever. It's kind of working now. For the moment, it took a couple of minutes to get it working on this time, but it looks like we're good to go, and I don't have to spend a load of money on a new equipment. So to continue, Eric Zhu, he sold tickets to this event. Right, now I told you that they raised about $1.5 million to put on the event. Now, tickets sold for $20 each for the kind of standard general entry ones, and $1,000 for VIP tickets. And it's thought that they raised about 1.5 million from ticket sales and from other parts of the event, like sponsorships and concessions. So pretty good job for your first event as a 17-year-old with a very disruptive idea. So now what you're probably wondering is, who on earth would want to race their sperm? Well, contestants, are you ready? Because there were many willing participants. Now, in the case of the inaugural sperm racing event, they were Tristan Milker, who's 20 years old, from the University of Southern California, and Ashton Proger, who was 19 years old, from the University of California, Los Angeles, that's UCLA. And so these are two competing universities, and so they managed to get more attention and interest in the event locally by creating a college rivalry based on the speed of their sperm, which really is quite outrageous. There is something quite funny and silly about this whole sperm racing thing. Well, of course, there is the important side of raising awareness for male fertility. There is the fact that they are racing sperm and that there will be hundreds of thousands of people in attendance watching. But perhaps the silliest part of it was the preparation period for these sperm racers. Can't believe I'm saying that. Apparently, they were trying different diets. Like, one of them was on like a steak and ice cream diet, trying to go like down the high protein route to give his sperm more chance of being fast. And the other one was suntanning their scrotum, which they believe for some reason would give them extra power, and other bro science kind of regimens. Now, to make things more interesting, there was also a $10,000 cash prize up for grabs. But before I tell you which of these sperm racers was victorious, let me tell you a little bit about the track and the mechanics of the race. So they actually created a custom track for the race, and it's only about 8 inches long, and it's a reproduction of the female reproductive system under magnification of 100x, zoomed right in, creating a similar shape of route for the sperm to travel through, and that was how they were going to test whose sperm was fastest. This was never going to be a drag race. It was never going to be a straight line race. Okay, now let me read the more scientific part to you here. Sperm samples were collected fresh, stored in incubation chambers at body temperature, and placed in a centrifuge before being loaded into a two-lane microfluidic channel. A gentle electric current kept the sperm on course, and they naturally swam upstream, with high-resolution cameras tracking their movement. For the audience, the microscopic view was turned into a 3D animation, broadcast on giant screens with play-by-play commentary, stats, leaderboards, and even a halftime show. The format was a best-of-3 race, creating a spectacle akin to a sports event, But with microscopic athletes, I can reveal that Tristan won $10,000. And in the process of doing that, he helped perhaps the millions of people who are exposed to this story, the spectacle, the event, to think more consciously and intentionally about their sperm health. And so, for that reason, I'd say it isn't a gimmick to talk about sperm motility, right? It's actually very important how fast and efficiently sperm swim. It's not just important to have a lot of sperm, but to have strong sperm if you are trying to impregnate someone. What factors are there in your sperm health? Absolutely loads. Now, earlier in the video, I talked about things like having a phone in your pocket or Wi-Fi, things like this. But really the factors that should kind of take most kind of pay most attention to are smoking, exercise, diet, stress, getting enough sleep. Things like that are much more realistic things that you can do actionably to look after your sperm. Just think about those things. If you ever want to start a family further down the line, think that the actions now are may stop you or help you later in the future. Now, would it be American sports if there wasn't some controversy thrown in there? Now, we've already talked about other kinds of controversy around this event, but there were more to do with the actual live event, and that might help and it might hurt sperm racing in the long run. But just remember, this was the first major event for sperm racing, so I'm going to cut them a bit of slack. You're not going to get it perfect on your first event. But what some critics and commenters were saying is they felt it was staged. And why? It's because the video clips, the animation that they were shown was pre-recorded. Now, that's because for this first event, they weren't quite ready with the technology and the know-how to show a live sperm race. But they had done an actual sperm race. They have all the proof. They've verified. They can back up that they really did the race. It's just that showing that race in real time is really technical and hard to do. So cut them a bit of slack there, and let's not be so demanding. I think it's really fun and funny for these young guys to try something totally new and gain so much attention from it. And who knows, this could be the next big thing to gamble on. I don't know why, but it just feels like in 2025 we've re-entered a kind of gambling era. You look at websites like Polymarket and you see people gambling on absolutely anything, gambling amongst themselves between friends. It's no longer such a bookmaker's market. You don't need to go bet at the bet shop. You can bet with other people through all kinds of online platforms. And trust me, some of these bets are totally bizarre. I've had a look. So, what next for sperm racing? I have absolutely no idea. But what I can tell you with almost concrete clarity and certainty is that you're probably not going to see it at the next Olympics. And if you do, I will eat my words, but I will not eat sperm. Guys, thank you so much for watching Substream. I'm really sorry this video was chopped up a bit by my absolute clumsiness of dropping my lovely, beautiful camera into a mucky Istanbul gutter. I don't know how, honestly, I did that, and I'm still suffering from it. I feel very foolish, but hopefully the quality is not too bad. I'm still not fully sure of the extent of the damage to the camera, but it's working just enough for now, 24 hours after yesterday's calamity. So hopefully everything, the sound and visuals were fine. Unfortunately, I couldn't get out and do such a beautiful video this week. But next week, I promise, guys, the next video you want to come back and watch, because I'm going to go somewhere really beautiful and get some wonderful shots so that there's more lovely stuff happening in the background instead of my apartment, which is a total mess after a month away traveling. I need to go do a lot of laundry. Bye for now. See you next time, Substreamers.